Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, find a way to win, find a way to lose. And for Terence Crawford, hey look, he'll find his way to Boots Ennis to fight him at 147. But you got to pay Terence Crawford. I think that's the thing people really, that's the point they're missing. Terence Crawford he's on a mission for whatever few fights he has remaining. And this man is all about making the most money possible. Now, whether you think he ducked Boots, or you feel Boots is ducking him, or you feel the secret society got involved and stripped the belt off of Crawford, doesn't matter what you think. But I think we can all agree that Terence Crawford has earned the right, especially at the end of his career. This man been boxing professionally for a long, long time. He should be able to go and call out guys, man, where he can make the most money possible. And I think we'd agree that Crawford versus Boots Ennis is not going to pay him the kind of money as Crawford fighting somebody like maybe Zoo, Jamel Charlo, and, I'm going to go ahead and throw the name out there because it keeps going around, a Canelo, right? So why not support Crawford and say, look, my man, you gave us a lot of years of good fights, entertainment. You clipped Spence. A lot of people didn't think you can do it. Those of us who really understand boxing and styles, we knew you going to the phone booth and turning the southpaw man and tranquilize him. But at this point in his career, I'm going to tell you right now, as much as Crawford really does not want to get down to 147, he's about his money. If the secret society and them key decision makers really want to see that fight, put the money up. I bet you, it's like one of the buddies in the comments was saying, you say Crawford's name, I think it's Malcolm, say Crawford's name 3 times with the money, Crawford will appear like the boogeyman. I'm serious. Or was it Candyman or something? Say his name 3 times with some money and watch Crawford appear and be like, I'm right here, Boots, what you want to do? Because I'm going to tell you this, right? Now, some of you may agree with me, you may not. I think he's still got the Kinahan connection now, not the Tyson Fury style, but what I mean is I think Crawford still knows people. He still has a relationship with people in the right spots out there in Saudi. To where if Crawford, if he wanted, I think Crawford could get a fight out in Saudi. Remember, Crawford not signed to nobody. You know what I'm saying? He fought Spence once, got the rematch, but I mean, Crawford can do what the hell he wants. So I'm gonna be honest. I would, to me, Crawford, do your rematch with Spence. If you're really trying to fight Tim Tszyu and become a 3-time undisputed and pick up a WBO belt off Tszyu and go fight Jamel, I mean, if all of that remains kind of in place the way it is now. But at the end of the day, if you get an opportunity to go over there and fight in Saudi, headline an event down there in Riyadh, fight a UK fighter or someone, and they had them people pay you 40, 50 million. Shit, it's all about the money, right? Can't nobody say he's ducking Tszyu or ducking Charlo if he gets through Spence and gets an opportunity to go fight out there in the Middle East. I'm going to tell you right now, I think he should, man. My only concern about the guys fighting in the Middle East is you end up being like Tyson Fury. If you listen to what Tyson Fury said, he will never fight in the UK anymore. Something along those lines. He's done with the UK. He gave them 2 fights, Dillian White and Chisora. Those were like his farewell fights. Everything he does going forward is going to be in Saudi. So what that tells me is they kind of got Tyson Fury by the balls. But with Terence Crawford, he may be able to go over there and get himself 1 or 2 fights and be done. But, I don't know. Again, it's like I'm not the only one who feels this way. You can't just go to Saudi and think they're going to pay you 40, 50 million for a fight, then another 30, 40, 50 million for another fight, and just basically shake your hand and say, thank you, great doing business with you, hasta la vista. That's not how that works. They're going to pay you some dough. They're going to want to take a pound of flesh out your ass. And they're going to want to use you and your voice and your platform profile to help ensure Saudi ends up being viewed as a destination, not just a final destination. That's my only concern about Crawford going over there messing around out there playing in the goddamn sandbox. Get his butt out there, then next thing you know, things don't go right. And then all of a sudden you hear, off with his head. Crawford would have wished he came back over here and fought goddamn Boots. But going forward, I really think that's what it boils down to. Look, Jerome Boots in this, man. I heard somebody say, "Oh, look, he's ducking Crawford. He's got the IBF belt. Why doesn't he challenge Crawford now?" I'm like, my man, what you had for breakfast this morning? A bowl of dumbass? So now if Boots fights Barrios, Boots is ducking Crawford. I'm like, God damn, boy. Hey, let me tell you something. I sit here cracking up. A lot of the videos I do, I like to make jokes, but hey, it's hilarious to me, some of the stuff that I read. But I'm not making that up, man. I read that today. Someone said Boots has the IBF belt now, and he's trying to fight Barrios. That means Boots is ducking Crawford. I tell you, you just can't make this up. Boots ain't Boots is not ducking Crawford. Crawford isn't ducking Boots. You know, Crawford is out here trying to get his money before he retires. Boots is out here trying to get his legacy cemented. But I've said it in another video, I'll say it again. Don't be surprised if Crawford loses at WBA and WBC. There's a lot of very interesting decisions that are going to be made over here in the holidays. This week they have the WBC convention going on. Just watch and wait to see what the fallout is. I'm going to be looking for the meeting minutes so I could comb through there and share the meeting minutes with you guys. But don't be surprised if they come at that meeting and Crawford is made champion in recess, or they strip Crawford of the title because they know that he's going to be fighting Spence at 154. I'm just being honest with you. Don't be surprised if we start seeing some things where all of a sudden Crawford, you know, his trousers start to fall and hang off of his little waist and hips because he's losing his belts. Ain't nothing that'll hold up them trousers no more, except that one belt, the WBO. And if that's the case, well, then that means we know the direction Crawford's going. The secret society wants him to go. I mean, he's being pushed towards 3 times undisputed at 154. But then again, just got to sit back, see how it all plays out. But as far as Jerome Boots in this, look, if Crawford fights at 154 and decides, you know what, I ain't messing around 147 anymore, I'll just hold on to this WBO belt. The WBO will work with him, make an exception for him to fight Spence. He can keep the belt at 147, but if immediately after the Spence fight he has to go and fight and challenge whoever has the WBO belt at 154, I think that's how he holds on to that WBO belt. But if he doesn't do that, the WBO will probably strip him too. You know, the WBC, they're the ones who kind of, Mauricio the Nose Suleiman, they're the ones that do some kind of shady stuff, you know. But the other sanctioning bodies, I'm not saying they're all innocent either, but for the most part, man, you know, they want their belts defended. They want their money. They're looking for their little 3%. And I just can't see them being okay with having, you know, mandatories held in a holding pattern because, you know, Crawford and Spence rematching or Crawford not really sure what direction he wants to go. They're going to force his hand. And he either going to have to fight a mandatory or lose the belt. But we just got to wait and see. You know, and I kind of understand it, but I kind of don't, because I think, let's be real, has Crawford had an opportunity to really enjoy being undisputed? I mean, goddamn, the WBA didn't send him his belt. You know, that he's sitting there waiting for that, and then the damn IBF strips him, and now could possibly had to lose the WBA belt, which he still hasn't received, and had the WBC strip him. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't know how much he's enjoying this. I think when he won the fight, a couple weeks after, I think it was wonderful. You know, he was on his world tour doing interviews, but now I think a lot of people are just like, whatever, on to the next. But I tell you what, Terence Crawford returning to the ring, especially in this rematch with Spence, that's going to have a whole lot of buzz. It's just like the idea of Deontay Wilder getting back in the ring now. Whether you hate him or not, Deontay Wilder getting back in the ring got people talking because they know what he brings. Same thing with Crawford. They know what he brings to the table. Very, very interesting times. But that being said, for those of you out there who are saying, hey, Crawford's afraid of boots, let me tell you what, Crawford is afraid of fighting and not getting what he deserves. That's what he's afraid of. He ain't going for that. This man is in a position most people never ever get to in their careers. And he wants to go out there and these last couple of fights make his money, 20, 30, 40 million, and he should get it. And if he has an opportunity to hook up with Eddie Hearn and get over there in Saudi, even if for one fight for like 40, 50 million, I think it's worth it to sign with him for 3 fights. Because one thing about Eddie Hearn, he'll deliver. I don't know how the hell he does it. But Eddie Hearn will deliver. Whatever he tells you he's going to do, he'll do it. And that's one thing I can say about old Fast Eddie. He'll lie. He'll lie. But when it comes to the fighters and what he says he's going to do for them, no, if it doesn't come through, it's beyond his control. But Eddie Hearn is he's straight, you know, and I think most people would say that about him. Don't get me wrong, I ain't saying I like him or dislike him. I'm just saying from what I gather listening to fighters, Eddie Hearn will deliver. And when you try to challenge him, he has no problem going having a debate with you over things. Like his brain is sharp. Eddie Hearn, the way he rattles things off, he's not somebody you want to get into it. Like he don't forget nothing. But I don't know. That being said, Crawford will fight Boots for the right price. I'm just not sure anybody can come up with 20, 25 million for Crawford to want to come back down to 147 or fight at 147 against Boots to try to pick back up a title that, you know, obviously doesn't seem to be really too worried about losing the IBF. And he already said he didn't want to fight Boots. But if you're going to pay him some dough, I guarantee you the right price, Terence Crawford to get back in that ring. Just like with Floyd Mayweather fighting Terence Crawford. Tell Floyd Mayweather you give him $500 million. Floyd Mayweather will have on them goddamn sneakers. He'll have on that goddamn beanie, that sweatsuit, and he'll be out here running around running the miles, putting in 8 to 15 miles. And at the end of his run, when they put that camera in front of his face, and that microphone, he'll say it was a minor setback for a major comeback. It's just a minor setback with the exhibitions for a major comeback to make this $500 million. You know, money made all day. Anyway, let me stop making jokes. Let me get the hell out of here. Money talks, BS walks. It is what it is. I'm in the breeze.